The wind is so strong that we have to repair moorings and clamps on board the boat. It's the Mistral and the winds from the Pyrenees. It's called the Lion's Bay because it roars. Also, the sun is tough on the wood. We cover the deck with heavy tarps to protect from the heat. We replace only what we have to until we arrive in Spain. I will show you how I found old traditional ways to be more sustainable and rewarding, and how bad mooring can make a lot of damage. Welcome on board Selma, a sailship that was built in Denmark in 1914. She has survived 2 world wars and still have cannonballs in the ballast. I will show you how I create this story, trying to keep the vessel afloat, learning from old traditions. Thank you for watching and welcome on board. In this episode, emergency repair, steaming of wood and conserving using lin oil. Subscribe to keep track of the adventure. It's a fun and free way to support. My dream is to create an association where everyone can join in sailing, workshops, expeditions, diving and using our skills to help the environment. We have sailed thousands of nautical miles from the North Sea through the rivers and channels of Europe. Follow us and see the ups and downs of living on a boat, and the incredible adventure it has been.
Hello everybody!
It's a base for us to explore and live on a very small budget.
I found a little spot here at the Mediterranean Sea. Let me take you out for a little spin on the bike here.
I make these videos to show how we are saving the old vessel, giving tips and tricks on the way. Join us rebuilding an old sailship while we keep cruising. I'm in Cap d'Agde in the south of France, in the northern western corner of the Mediterranean Sea. Here's the old lady.
Welcome on board Selma, a sailship from 1914. We are restoring the ship to create a base for our association. The ship is, as you see, it is very old. It is more than 100 years old. When we show you around the ship, you can see how the conditions are. You see, this is a repair we made. The pulley was simply pulled off by the storm, and we just had to fix it. The people from the marina here, they moved the boat, and then they moored the boat in a really hardcore way because it was too tight, and that made that when there was a wave or something coming, the boat with its 16 ton was just moving, and then it was just ripping off actually the whole side of the boat here. You know, do it as fast as we could. So we made like a combination of wood and epoxy, and we glued it together and tightened it and make it stronger actually. So, but that is one of the problems that we had, that we just had to do it as fast as we could. We don't have a lot of time to do it. We just have to kind of survive with it, and we are trying to save the boat, you know. And therefore, all the different jobs we have, sometimes we just have to go compromise, and then we use epoxy, because epoxy is also a lasting repair that we make. So in that way, it's a little bit of a combination of modern ways and the and the old-fashioned ways. I am a strong believer of the old ways. So, and there we are actually improving the quality of the wood by adding oil to it, and when we bend it, we steam bend it, and when you steam bend wood, it actually becomes a lot stronger than it was before. So all these methods, we want to share that with you and show you how we can do it. Some of the materials we use here on board the boat, on board Selma, is ancient materials. This is dating thousands of years back in time, and all these materials are made from natural products. When you use this on the wood, it's an amazing substance that, because it's a micromolecule, it penetrates the wood into the core of the tree, of the wood, and this hardens and cures inside the wood, and it expands 19%. We are restoring it by using ancient methods, actually dating thousands of years back in time. And also this is a very sustainable way of doing boat work. Here we have wood, which is basically it's done in oak wood. It's the same wood as you use for Viking ships, as most people they know. And this kind of wood is an amazing material because you can bend it in shape and twist it, steam bend it, and it becomes like a little bit like a sponge, if you could say that. And then you can actually reshape the wood. When it cools down again, it becomes really hard and very strong. So that is like
1 inch is 25.5 millimeters.
So it's like when you have the planks for the big boards, you need 2 hours for the steaming.
Of 1 inch it takes 1 hour. After 1 hour it's ready.
Normally you have to take it out of the box and then very quickly get it up, and you have like maximum of 15 minutes before it has to be in place, before it starts to harden. And when we do this, we can actually take it up with the plastic and everything and put it in place, leaving the plastic.
This is 1 inch pine boards. The paint is linoil with iron oxide. The wood for the main hull is oak.
Like you can see, we have lying around the boat here, and it's like a 2 inch thick piece of wood.
We use 2 inch oak planks for the main hull and for the scan deck. CO2 are stored in trees, and by using it we store 300 years of CO2 in the boat.
And this actually the wood we have here on board has been with us throughout all the journey. We picked it up in Denmark, came from a forest close to a city called Kolding, and we got it shipped out by a tractor and out from a long pier.
We made a deal with the driver to unload the wood, and then we had to find a way to get the heavy planks out to the boat, and each plank weighing more than 100 kilo. We took our little hand truck, placed it on the middle to balance the heavy planks. But the load was so heavy, and the flexing the 10-meter long planks was too tough. It's always great fun to be part of the adventure. We split the planks using a generator and power tools, then loading it with the mast and rigging.
It's like a sustainable use of a vessel, because it's more than 100 years old and it's still the same materials as a base.
The wind is blowing so hard here that it is wearing our moorings down. The wind often comes from the Alps and the Pyrenees, funneling the force down the mountains and out in the Med. The mooring ropes for Selma are too big for the shops in the marina.
If you want to go to Silvano, our friend, and see if he got some good quality rope.
In this area, the Chantier Alemán is the best place to find boat stuff, and they even have fair prices. We got 100 meter of rope for 320 euro. That is enough for all the moorings we need. I use masking tape to keep the threads in place while I cut the ropes. I will tackle it when I get more time. For now we just have to get around all the things in most need. I use a torch to burn the rope, seeing to that all the strings are completely melted together. We set the new moorings before the old ones are being rearranged. We are now moored between the poles. That is much better than being moored to the pier. Crossing the moorings in the bow takes a lot of the stress from the strong winds. We set the bowsprit to make a new rod in the end of it. Then we can grab hold and then easier pull it in. We do that when we arrive in a harbor to make it easier to maneuver, turning or docking. Ready to set the jibs, the cleaver and the fob. The new piece is made of 2-inch pine glued with a strong epoxy. Getting materials is easy when we have the car. The shops are just 5 minutes away. Brico means DIY, and the sign says good price and a greater selection. Shopping in France always leads to much fun, but they are really helpful. 150 millimeters wide. Just a cheap pine.
Yeah, steam it.
We're gonna steam bend it and
on the spot.
Having the crew here to help is great, and their special skills all help the project continue. A special thanks to Nadej, Frank, Klaus and Jacob. They each play a special role in keeping us en route. To take a break from the work, we take a trip to Set, a city a few kilometers away. It is a nice drive along the Mediterranean. Set is an old city like Agder. It is rich in culture. I used to live in Set, where I was working building cruising catamarans. There are ferries from Africa, and they also have a tradition for big tuna fishing. It's cool to know a place and to show friends around where I used to hang out. There's a lot of sailing activity in the season. Set is access point to the Etang, where there's great anchoring. I will show more in another episode. We are meeting some friends here. They also have an association like us, but they have 400 active members. We are planning to make some sailing together, and are also looking for a place in Set for Selma. Here's all we need to work on the last projects. We had a sailor's talk and apple pie.
Regarde Maxence, tu veux t'asseoir là-bas ou
Back on Selma, we relax and enjoy a beautiful evening. Come join us, subscribe or comment below. The numbers for the infected with coronavirus is rising fast. The Danish government is asking people to return before they close the borders. One great thing about restoring the boat here in the south is that it almost never rains. Rainwater is a big problem for these old wooden vessels. I have contoured the hull with oil and wood tar. If you want to know more, comment below and I'll answer the best I can. We are ready for when we return to fit the 2-inch 10-meter long oak planks. The bowsprit is ready for fitting and permanently securing, planning and oiling it. Then we'll set the course for Spain to pass the Pyrenees, heading for Valencia. So, leaving the boat, finished with this time. So, have a drive to Bordeaux. And then after Bordeaux we take the plane. And it's gonna be interesting. I'm worried to leave the boat without a date for when we return. Also the trip back with the crew, I hope we will get through and be safe. They will close the Mediterranean and we have no idea when this will be over. We drive 400 kilometers to Bordeaux, then take the plane for 2.5 hours. Subscribe to the channel to see how we will continue the project. If you want to support the videos, check out our Patreon page, see the descriptions below. We made it through the check-in and are now boarding the plane. We keep a distance to everybody and don't touch anything on the way. I have to get back to my family. They are very worried about us. I have a million thoughts on my mind. I have a project in Copenhagen to clean the waters of the harbor there with other divers, but when that will happen, it's difficult to know now. With all the things going on, also how to finance saving Selma. So I made it back to Denmark. I am in Copenhagen now. I'm in lockdown like most of you guys. So being positive about this situation also means that now I finally have time to create these videos for you. In these videos you will see us doing restoration of the boat, using old methods. More than this, I have been a diving instructor for 20 years, so I also want to show you some techniques of diving. When we get down to France again, we will continue the work on the boat. I've been working on boats for 25 years. If you have any questions, you comment below and I will answer you the best I can. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can follow our journey. I'm Lars and this is Project Saving Selma. Together we've done the impossible. We have worked on the project for the last 5 years and kept the boat running for thousands of miles. Sharing with you the story of shipwork and rescue missions. I want to share my encounters, finding answers together with you.
I'll keep fighting this losing battle.
Professional diver, boat builder and sailor.
I know I'll meet my end.
With Selma I found amazing old traditions.
'Cause I'd rather go down than run away.
Cleanups for nature, doing my best to help others.
Then watch my enemy walking proud.
Creating the space for adventure.
I'd rather leave a scar that might make them think twice than cowardly live on the rest of my life. This is the fight I'll never win, but in this fight I'll never give in. This is mine, this is mine, this is my losing battle. This is mine, this is mine, this is my losing battle.
Follow your dreams and fight your fears.
You only have seconds to react. If anything happens,
You can call me
it's just
scared
madness.
and you can call me weak, but if I only get one chance, then I choose to fight. Just try and make it better for another life.
For another life. For another life.
My time for victory has passed. Now I do what I must. This is my losing battle, but I won't give up the fight. This is mine, this is mine, this is my losing battle. This is mine, this is mine, this is my losing battle.
Now look here, if you had one chance to fight to the death, would you take it or sit by and let it pass to the next? I'm telling you, I will never ever succumb to the threats. I'm gonna stand up and rebel to the last of my breath. Now don't be scared, brother, put on your war paint. Beat on your chest, brother, let's make them all faint. And we can trust one another because we all ain't gonna give up to the suckers, because are all brave, even if it's 100 to 1. No, we won't give up. Even if we're shot in doubt. No, we won't give up. Even if our backs to the ropes. No, we won't give up. Even if it looks suicidal. No, we won't give up. So come and join me, my friends, and arm yourselves to the teeth. We're gonna fight and defend, even if our future is bleak. And then our souls will ascend after our righteous defeat. And when it's done in the end, our legacy will speak.
This is mine. This is mine. This is my losing battle. This is mine. This is mine. This is my losing
We made it to the Mediterranean to work on the boat, caring for nature and sharing with others. They dream of making life an adventure. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's a free and easy way to follow the journey.